I am about to listen to Frank Zappa for the first time. I have been listening to a ton of music lately where people say, Walter, they say, you need to listen to Frank Zappa because that thing that you said that you liked sounds like Frank Zappa. So here we are. I put a YouTube poll up and by a pretty large margin, the first album that was voted on for me to react to was Hot Rats. This seems to be, have been released in 1969. As per usual, as I go through the reaction here, I'm going to have the chat give me what context they can regarding the music. But, yeah. I guess I'm going to hop into this thing. Apparently, this guy has been an inspiration to a ton of music that I listen to that has been frequenting my ears. So, yeah, guys, I'm going to hit the play button on this thing. But before I do, it's very important to me that you know that you are awesome, that you are valuable, that you are important, that you matter, that you are deserving of love, and that I am abundantly grateful for even a moment of your time. If you like what you see, feel free to hit the like and the subscribe button. It goes a long way to help me out. If you really like what you see, leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. Or join us on Twitch. These people over here are actually the best people. Come discover music with us. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Arizona time. Guys, come swing by. Without further ado, Hot Rats, Frank Zappa. Here we go. Peaches and Regalia. Doesn't seem like there are lyrics on Spotify. Is there Genius lyrics? Or are we just looking at the album art? Yo, thank you for the sub and all the bitty bits. It's an instrumental. Ooh. The drums here. I don't know how this is. There's a lot of noises here that I'm trying to pick up. How many instruments are in this instrumental? This is kind of gnarly. Like, I'm hearing... And is this microtonal or no? This feels a little microtonal. It's not? What's the instrument I'm hearing right there? What is that instrument? And what's this? This sounds like the thing... This reminds me of, like, Giz a bit. And then the horns? Do you hear the bass line behind it? I'm gonna turn it up in my headset a bit. Give me a sec. So the bass line behind it, I didn't catch there until a little bit ago. Way better now that I turned it up in my head. Going from the organ to the horns. That little man, the horns are so tasty here. There's that the bass line. The panning in this, the editing in this, everything, this is so goofy to listen to. I keep finding myself trying to like understand what's happening, but there's just an unbelievable amount of layers and it's constantly shifting. I can definitely like Ween is like so Frank Zappa coded for sure. This and the drums, like a drum machine before that was it. Oh man. The dynamics of this are nuts. And I can't tell if it, because I don't think drum machines happened until like the late 70s, early 80s. And like, if it was the late 70s, they were in their infancy. So like, I don't know if they're just really crunching the tom sound to make that noise. Is that just a really trebly and compressed drum, like tom drum? And the panning is so nice. Sped up drums. Yeah, so this one was definitely interesting. As far as an opener, what an opener. Wow. Yeah, so apparently Twitch is going to run ads. So I am going to take a 3-minute pit stop here and just chit-chat with you guys so that people don't get yeeted by the ads. Let's get back to Zappa, shall we? This next one is Willie the Pimp. Here we go. Love that guitar tone. Kind of got a bluesy thing.
I'm a little pimp with my hair gas bag, hair candy pants with my shoes shine black.
Is Frank singing as well?
I'm a little pimp with my hair gas bag, hair candy pants with my shoes shine black.
What's Captain Beefheart? And what's the electric I'm starting this over.
I'm a little pimp with my hair gas bag, hair candy pants with my shoes shine black.
So Zappa's not singing here. A person named Captain Beefheart is singing here. Is a guy who made an album you either love or despise. Okay, is a childhood friend of Zappa and leader of a band of the same name. Got it. Yeah, never. Admittedly, I don't even think I've ever heard of Captain Beefheart. So, here, for whatever that's worth for you. hopping back in to Willie the Pimp, sung by Captain Beefheart on Frank Zappa's album. Here we go.
Little lady walk that street, telling all the boys that you can't beat.
I love the riff here, dude. Bow, 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 down, down.
$20 bill, I can set you straight. Meet me on the corner, boy, don't be.
Well, you know, the editing is so nice here. He really does, in the first two songs, he really does do things that are like made for audiophiles. Like in this context, listen to the panning right here.
Man in a suit with a bow tie neck, wanna buy a truck with a steak polish.
Nuts. Trying to buy with a third-party check, huh? Wow.
On the porch of the Lido Hotel, bluesies in the lobby, love the way I sell. I dream, I rap, I cash,
Am I hearing a reverse guitar? There's the titular phrase of the album. This sounds like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard to me. I'm really wondering I'm really wondering if maybe these artists I've been listening to this whole time really have been Zappa coded this whole time. Like, I'm to the point that I'm mind blown here. The man, the bass line. This reminds me of Iron Lung. The amount of wah pedal being used here is nuts. Who's playing the guitar tracks I'm hearing? Is that Frank Zappa? Tell me this doesn't sound like Iron Lung by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. rather, Iron Lung by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard sounds like this song. This is like 100% giving me an Ice Death vibe in like a crazy kind of. I didn't realize that they just wove in like that. Again, there's so many different things to say about this instrumental here. Like the voice, I gotta be honest, Captain Beefheart's voice had such a presence that with the way the riff went, I was riveted. It kind of had like a brown to it, you know, like it was definitely like a brown sound. But then going into this like kind of jammy psychedelic instrumental, like I'm very impressed with Frank's guitar playing. I gotta be honest, I didn't think it was gonna be something that I was, because I kind of thought, you know, I always, well, and it's stupid that I think this because I always think this, but I typically think I have a pretty good understanding of who the most amazing guitar players are, and I've been really surprised lately by finding people that I just haven't listened to. So yeah, like virtuosos that I just had not seen yet. So yeah, this whole bit, like the way the guitar is going, like I feel like I hear, like, even if they're contemporaries, there is definitely an element, like I feel like Pink Floyd probably heard some of the stuff that they were doing and thought they could apply those sounds to their music. Definitely a lot of the bands I've been listening to, Fish, Ween, Giz, all of them seem like they're taking inspiration from Zappa. Well, am I hearing like a harpsichord? Or like is this an upright piano? Clavichord. The changing time signatures. This has been my favorite part. The wah sound to his guitar is utilized in a way I can't say I've heard that many people do. Like, the way he makes it affect both his low sound and his high sound. And, like, there's, like, a phaser sound along with it sometimes. Love that part. Kind of descending into chaos here. Very fish coated. Fish is very Zappa coated, for sure. This is feeling tension and releasey. Very jazzy here. And we're back. Oh, yes. Oh, man. Okay, so Willie the Pimp was actually a lit song. That was actually like a super. I actually also liked Peaches and Regalia. The thing about Willie the Pimp, there was such an element of tension and release to it, but it was maybe a little bit more accessible to somebody because it didn't go so ham like what Fish does. Like I feel like Fish. Like this walked so that what Fish does could run. But at the same time, I think because this is walking and not running, it makes it maybe a little bit more commercially digestible to a broader public, perhaps. But hearing that, I cannot deny that Giz and Ween and Fish, the bands that I've been like most investing my time into, sound like Frank Zappa. There's not a way around it. And to think that these sounds happened in '69, like the recording techniques then are not what they are now. You know what I mean? So for him to pull this sound off with these crazy edits is such a labor of love. He's doing this with tape, guys. Like they made this with tape. Just to put that into perspective for you, tape and analog recording. It's so cool to me because I know the labor of love that this had to have taken. Actually unbelievable. So the next one is Son of Mr. Green Jeans. Wow. Is this another instrumental? Oh. Am I hearing like a clarinet? The rest of the record is instrumental? Just this one. The bass is really carrying this, but then is this like an accordion I'm hearing behind it? No, what are the there's like, I feel like I'm hearing like a clarinet for sure. Maybe an alto sax as well. Woodwind overdubs. I want to hear that solo again. Just the way it came in, that tone, it was tasty. Bro! What guitar is he playing? I also feel like Ian Anderson from Jethro Tull must have heard this before Thick as a Brick happened. I think I'm on a Frank Zappa dive now, too. I'm on a Frank Zappa dive now. I'm going to listen to the other stuff. I don't know if I'm jumping the whole way. We're gonna let this build, but I'm going to listen to another Frank Zappa album. I don't know when, but I'm going to do it. Wow, I'm kind of surprised by this. The bass dynamics, the horns here, and then that. There's just so many sounds, dude. There's just so many sounds, you know? Like that, yeah, it startled me too. You talking about that high-pitched bit? Like, actually crazy to me. I love, like, this guitar sound is so lovely. Who played bass for this album? it just keeps going in different directions. Oh, man. Max Bennett played bass. Bro, the amount, so I've commented before a lot with Fish that one of the things that stands out to me about Trey's guitar playing is his dynamic use of guitar tones, right? Like, to the point that I thought many times in listening to him that it was multiple guitar players doing multiple guitar parts. But that wasn't the case. I'm finding myself wondering this same thing listening to this Zappa album right now, because there are a dynamic amount of tones that I'm hearing, and they switch between like bridge pickup, neck pickup, the use of wah. Like, he goes from making it squeal to making it just kind of like I kind of have like a slapback reverby sound. I don't know. There's a lot that he does with his tone that's just kind of, I mean, it adds such a layer of flavor to the song, but also to the music, right? Because it makes it, I don't know another way to put it, but it makes it sound like if it's just him, to an untrained ear, it sounds like there are multiple guitar players. And like, I don't know if that's the case. Given this, I feel like he probably played what you're hearing pretty well straight through. They weren't, there's no way that they could do a whole bunch of cutting and splicing with reel-to-reel recording. So like, you're probably hearing this solo in just one long take, which is, again, that much more impressive to me if he is adjusting the tones on the fly. And the use of these synths behind are nuts. Some of these synth sounds are way ahead of their time. All of these changes, it makes it feel like so many songs are sewn together. This is some of the snappiest guitar work I've ever heard, dude. This bass line while this guitar solo is happening. Unbelievable. whole thing I was sitting here thinking about, like, right? Because like so much of what I'm hearing, he's bouncing around, and he kind of plays the lead. His guitar part kind of plays the lead into leading where the song is going into a completely different territory while still being in the same thing. And it's like the musicians he's playing with are like goodly and sharp enough to just be able to like adjust on the fly and follow him. And there's that element of tension and release, but again, it's not so much tension that it makes it truly uncomfortable. So it's definitely, it's got such a unique, again, it sounds, I don't know, I'm so impressed with this dude. What's up, Orby? I definitely feel like this kind of sound walks, so that sounds like fish could run. I'll definitely be getting there. That was so good. Oh. Bro. For an instrumental, that song went so hard. The dynamics, right? Like kind of switching to where you change time signatures, you change just the complete rhythm of the song. And you just transition. And he's got these little hooks that when he plays leads that like it sounds like just some kind, it sounds like it would be the feature of the song to begin with, right? But there's like that one song had like 4 or 5 different leads that just sound, I don't know, man. There's so much going on that I don't quite know how to pick apart with like the different horns, the different editing with like the percussive sounds, the bass guitar. The bass throughout this whole album has just been so thumping and gnarly. I'm so impressed with this whole composition, but again, the amount of layers makes it so difficult to pick through. But when you listen to an album with so many layers like that, kind of the beautiful thing about it is that you always end up returning and finding something that you really like, like that you hadn't heard before. So when I revisit, I feel like so many of the albums that so many of the sounds that I'm like trying to reach for and listen to, and pick out are kind of like Easter eggy realizations later when you revisit the album. And I think, again, that makes albums like this, like jazz fusion-y kind of albums, so, so nice to listen to. So this one is Little Umbrellas. Ah, the upright bass. Oh. The saxophone, or is it a clarinet? Or both? What's up, Way Jam? All wind and... Oh, man. Or both. So is this like the early... I feel like I read somebody say earlier, like this was the earliest we see jazz fusion. Can we... YouTube comments as well, please chime in. Is this... Would you say that this is the earliest we see jazz fusion? Because I'm so impressed with it, if it is, like, because I mean, I've really been diving more into jazz lately, right? And as I've kind of gotten more into like jam-oriented rock featuring elements of tension and release, I just keep returning to jazzy sounds, and so I feel like I'm kind of discovering by proxy that I really appreciate jazz fusion music, but this has definitely got an element of that to me. While also being way ahead of its time, 69, man. Is that a Hammond? First jazz rock, got it. A B3. It's getting... Oh, man. I want to hear this piano run again. This reminds me of like the Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood music. Like, Won't You Be My Neighbor specifically. If it got thrown, like, if Mr. Rogers ate a bunch of psychedelics and went to a jazz bar where Frank Zappa and his band were. Like, tell me that doesn't sound like Mr. Rogers' piano. And this reminds me a little bit of Take 5 until that. The drums are also such a backbone carrying all of these transitions. Dude. If I would have known about Frank Zappa when I did psychedelics and wasn't a sober person, I may never have come back. I'm not just saying that. I might never have got better. It's just because I can see it in my head, you know? Like, I know what this would do. So, yeah. No, Mr. Rogers is actually a fantastic jazz pianist. No guitar and Little Umbrellas, no Frank. Well, if he composed it, he did amazingly. Hey, good night, Julia. You have the best evening. The Gumbo Variations. Hey. I know a band that has a song called Gumbo. Hey. What's up, dude, brah? Thank you for being here. Welcome aboard. Definitely a funkadelic kind of vibe, but with a lot of saxophone. Listen to this bass line. It's got like it does that do 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 do, but he's sliding up 2 different strings, so it's got this interesting slide up. Yo, thank you for the Prime sub, dude, bruh. The editing here is so good. This saxophone is... I love that this saxophone is roaring the way it is. Dude, I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed. The bass walked that in, guys. Did you see that? I'm gonna go back because I want you to be listening for this. So the bass is the first thing that changed pace here. And then right back down. Oh, that was so good, dude. I love that. This saxophone solo was amazing. And then the bass behind it. It's just got such a growl to it. I'm so enamored with this saxophone. Dude. And we're transitioning again. The bass line kind of... We got this low guitar drone coming in. Oh, man. That's not a guitar, is it? That's a really compressed... That's an electric violin. a primitive pickup in that too. The bass line reminds me of How Many More Times by Led Zeppelin. I like specifically a live jam of theirs that they did for this TV show in like 1968, or this radio show rather. But like the bass line here is kind of screaming John Paul Jones at me. Like Fender bass and Ampeg SVT classic. This is giving me Dave Matthews Band vibes. Though I guess technically that would put this song ahead of Zeppelin. Like this song would be ahead of Zeppelin. This song would have come after How Many More Times, I guess is what I was trying to say on the bass front. '68, I think, is when How Many More Times came out. Yeah, but we don't like Boyd Tinsley anymore. He did bad things. For sure, iron lung coated. I mean, honestly, though, this has been the Ice Death album by Giz has been screaming Frank Zappa coded since I've been listening to this album, specifically that album. Oh man, Jean-Luc is killing it, dude. Listen to him go! Am I hearing a sax now? Nope, that's a guitar. shredding the piss out of that thing. Looks like an ad break just started, so I'm actually going to pause it right now so that people don't get ousted by ads. We're back. Okay. And I brought it back a little bit, so hopping back into the Gumbo Variations. The running, this part right here, is so good. Dude. I love this violin sound so much. There's so many noises happening, dude. Is he using a violin bow on a guitar? That's a noise again. I feel like I'm 100% hearing that live show from Led Zeppelin, like the How Many More Times live set from Led Zeppelin. I really. So there's a lot of noises happening, but there's this. Maybe it's actually just a violin bow on a violin. Dingleberry Walter, come on. This is so chaotic and gnarly. Do you think that this is the dawn of tension and release? What do you think is the dawn of tension and release? Oh my gosh, what's happening? I meant in rock. Dude. I am... That was nuts. that was a wild ride. Like, that was an actual wild ride. And again, to think that this was done in 1969, you know what I mean? Like, the connection to Fish, it might be. This might be a 100% like saved them all. Not every album do I think conscientiously to do it. Some albums I just forget to go through and hit the plus button. Like, being honest, it's kind of a system I'm like trying to incorporate myself using, because it gives me a good chance to go back and reflect. But yeah, right now every single one's gotten a play. So I'm really kind of blown away by it. The other thing, again, I think that's hitting me is like how historically significant this seems to be to the music I find in my ears pretty frequently. And to think that this music was out there and like other people I like that listened to this before and they made music that I like, you know, based on their interests in this. There's something so cool about connecting dots in a musical journey, and I think that's why I like doing what I do, and you know, kind of following that, like searching for my influences. But then further than that, like when you start digging deeper and deeper and you start recognizing like, wow, this sounds like this, I wonder if there's a connection there. It's just, to me, it's one of my favorite parts of music. In general, that's again why the music discovery is so fun for me. Kind of sad that it's the last song on the album. Not every song is like, not every album is like that. Some albums, I'm not kind of sad that it's the last one, but in this context I am, and it must be a Camel, the closer. Here we go. Kind of sexy, smoky jazz sound right now. This 100% had to inspire producers for years and years and years to come. The pan work, the dynamics, the mix for all of these layers. And just the bombastics of the piano. They really... Oh, dude. Just this whole... the bass line in that slide up, and they create such interesting soundscapes. Creepy, ethereal. Psychedelic Phantom of the Opera. Also, maybe like the earliest stages of 8-bit sounds that we'll hear. Like these, I feel like we're hearing sounds that would inspire a video game score in the early 80s, early to mid 80s and late 90s. Early mid 80s to mid 90s video game score. I love this. that bass line. This part. The guitar tone changing. I would very much agree with you, Skylight. I can't decide how he makes some of these guitar tones from that time period. Okay, drums. I think I need to listen to more jazz in general. Dude. So, yeah, Zappa definitely strikes me as a tone seeker, like, for sure. Yeah, all audio files end up in jazz. Man, pardon my Walter ignorance, but nope, has not been done before. Yeah, this album was actually a masterpiece. It was genuinely actually ahead of its time. I don't know. I can't proclaim to be a music historian, but I can tell you when what I hear is original. This was original for sure. This sounded like music that was that could have been made 20 years later, and it would still fit in the time period. Like this could have come out in 1989, and you wouldn't know. This is definitely, yeah, Tara, I'm kind of with you. Like, especially, and obviously, I think specifically you and I, Tara, have seem to have a lot of common denominators when it comes to music. And both of us having not seen Zappa before, I think I don't know if you had the same experience I did, where it felt like dots connected, and you're like, oh wow, that's how. That makes more sense to me. This album was kind of riddled with that. It also gives me a desire to jump more into jazz music. I've been doing more jazz reactions lately because it's largely an unexplored territory of music for me. Especially hearing this definitely makes me want to do it. I'm definitely going to be hopping into Frank Zappa again. I think since Apostrophe was second place, maybe that's just where I'll go. Make it easy on myself. Because again, Hot Rats and Apostrophe were like the top two for sure. But yeah, I just, again, also, maybe I need to take some sort of pit stop at Captain Beefheart, because apparently that's a thing. So, yeah, guys, that was 100% worth my time. I hope it was 100% worth yours. I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for the positivity that you show both to me and to one another. Continue to be the best. And until I see you next, be introspective and consider the birds. Goodbye.